back during the great financial crisis was the fact that we had just an overwhelming amount of foreclosures that all hit the U.S. housing market within the span of a few years, and that made inventory skyrocket back then. And when you combine that with the fact that we were in a massive recession, unemployment rate had spiked to 10%, the economy wasn't doing well. Well, right now, I feel like we're in a position where we're starting to see the early signs of that. And that's because delinquencies on mortgages continue to rise. In fact, it's up 15% year over year. According to a recent report from TransUnion, this is actually the 6th consecutive quarter of delinquency increases. So we're talking a year and a half now that pre-foreclosures or mortgage delinquencies have been steadily on the rise. So what that tells you is people slowly, more and more, can no longer afford to pay the mortgage. And obviously some of this is due to the fact that people are no longer able to have the forbearance programs that keep them out of delinquency and made it essentially so they don't have to pay their mortgage. So all that stuff is over. So combining with that, plus the struggling economy, we're seeing higher delinquencies. And we're talking about all stages of delinquencies on top of that. From early, mid, and late delinquencies, this is a big deal because once somebody goes past being 90 days delinquent on their mortgage, foreclosure is imminent. They're going to get foreclosed on unless they can come up with a way to pay back that money that they haven't been paying. And it's even worse for people that have been in mortgage forbearance for the last couple of years because those guys have 2 years, 3 years of mortgage payments that were not made. We're literally talking about hundreds of thousands of Americans right now that are in this position. This is a situation that has slowly been building and has been getting worse over the past 2 years. Now, yes, it is true that more...
Let's start with the elephant in the room, which is this never-ending inflation. If there was ever anything that needed to be canceled, it's the Fed and the ever-exciting, charismatic Fed Chair Jerome Powell. I want you guys to watch this short video clip coming up about his recent comments about interest rates and the economy, and then I'm going to come back on the other side and comment on it.
My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We are highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. Our restrictive stance of monetary policy is putting that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we are strongly committed to returning inflation to our 2% objective. Our restrictive stance of monetary policy is putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation. The committee decided at today's meeting to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5%.
So I had more fun watching paint dry than listening to that guy, but all jokes aside, think about what he just said. The Fed is committed to getting inflation down to its 2% target goal, but yet at its last meeting just a week or so ago, they decided not to raise interest rates even though consumer spending is sky high. This makes absolutely no sense, it contradicts their policy, and it feels like the inmates are running the asylum. All right, so now I'm going to drill down specifically into the housing market. I want you to watch the madness of this short video clip coming up from a very popular financial advisor, and then I'm going to come back on the other side and comment on it.
Right now is the best time to buy a house in the next 5 years. Right now. And here's why. Okay, prices are not going to go down. Some of you are saying, well, I don't want to wait for prices to go down. You're not going to get up. They're not coming down. Yeah. Okay, they're going to go up slower, but they're not going to go down. They may not go up hardly at all, but they're not going to go down. And so 5 years from today, houses are going to be more expensive. This is as cheap as it's going to be in the next 5 years. So this is the best price right now if you're going to buy a house. Well, interest rates are up. Buy the house. If interest rates come back down, refinance. Yeah. But don't not buy waiting on interest rates to come down. Just refinance the mortgage if interest rates come down. This is the best time to buy a house in the next 5 years.
So that could be some of the worst financial advice I've ever heard. I want you to think about this for a second. Over the last couple of years, home prices have appreciated to unprecedented levels. Now we add more fuel to the fire by adding in 23-year high interest rates, and we haven't even still had a correction or a crash. Now we know historically speaking, home prices go up over the long haul, but after strong appreciation like this, there is usually and almost always a correction or a crash. Dave Ramsey telling people that you should be buying a home now because prices are never coming down is atrocious advice. He should stick to trying to get people out of debt and not give out this kind of fear-mongering real estate advice. Now, in the upcoming clip, I'm going to show you a recent article that just came out about a young couple who followed this advice and bought a home, and now how it's coming back to haunt them. Take a look at this. So this is exactly what I'm talking about when people buy into the American dream of home ownership, probably because they've listened to the media and certain media personalities telling people over and over again that you should always try to buy a home and not throw all of your money away on rent. This is an unfortunate story that just came out a couple of weeks ago on Yahoo Finance, where you can see that this young couple rushed to buy a $730,000 home, and now they can't sleep at night. I'm going to scroll down a little bit deeper into the article because I want you guys to take a look at a specific paragraph that's very unsettling. So there's two problematic things to unpack here. The first is a question that I'm sure most of you are asking. Why did this young couple buy such an expensive home? Well, they happen to have bought a home in Seattle, Washington, which is some of the most expensive real estate in all of the United States. If you can believe it, a $700,000 home in Seattle is not that expensive. Number two, this couple bought into the American dream of homeownership, probably because of the media, probably because of certain media personalities telling people that you need to own a home and not throw all of your money away on rent. But if you take a look at that blue highlighted paragraph, this couple was renting for $1,800 a month, which is really not that bad in today's market. And now they traded that in for a $4,100 a month mortgage payment. This is what I'm talking about, guys. You do not want to get in over your heads. It is not a good time to buy a home in this market, no matter what anybody says in the media. When home prices are this high and mortgage rates are this high, and people are paying over $4,000 a month and having panic attacks, you know that it's not a good market to buy in for the average consumer. So that's an unfortunate situation that a lot of new homeowners are going through right now, but there's a lot of new potential homeowners.
Right now, I'm watching this thing play out right before my eyes. I've always said, throw the playbook out the window. The data's not going to save you. It's time to be forward-thinking, critical thinking. Expect the unexpected. Prepare for the worst. Hope for the best. Come out somewhere in the middle. So you're not a deer in the headlights if and when this downturn plays out. Most people will be paralyzed by fear as this thing slams home. It's already slamming home. Have you noticed the commercials on television? It used to be all rainbows and sunshine and Joe, ABC Investments, invest with us, spend your stimulus with us. That's all you got. It was a casino climate. Now, struggling with Medicare costs? Call us today, 1-800-MEDICARE. It's all doom and gloom. It's all inflationary pain commercials, people trying to weather the storm now. We reported on this. Well, congratulations to anybody that's tuned in early on. Thank you to all my loyal subscribers. It's been my honor and my privilege to serve you. Continue to do that as we monitor and heat map not only the U.S. real estate market, the entire economy, because they're tied together. If we lose one, we do, in fact, lose them both. They're both at risk as we speak. But the job situation is sketchy at best. I mean, we're just getting started, and any of the jobs that are currently available are mainly blue-collar jobs, service sector jobs. All the white-collar jobs are evaporating. How do I know that, guys? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you. As an active licensed agent in the biggest brokerage in the world, here in the U.S., one of the most euphoric parts of the country, Southern California, where it's an episode of $1 Million Listing. Celebrities and movie stars tripping over each other. I've held so many open houses. So glad now I get to do this for you instead of going out schlepping open houses. And I've held some doozies, multi-million. I learned from one of the biggest agents in the nation. And day one, I was on multi-million-dollar homes. Like, wow, this is insane. I'm holding these open houses. This is insane. So I had to learn really quick how to act my way into the right way of thinking. You can't think your way in the right way actively. You can act your way into the right way of thinking. Just picture yourself as a success, and you'll be a success. Simple as that. So if you're finding yourself in need of a job, which many people are, see, anytime the housing market exhibits bubble behavior, new agents pour in. They're all fresh-faced young people. Think it's going to be all easy. If you're a new agent, find the hottest agent in town and offer to intern for them for free. Yep, for free. I said, and it gets better or worse depending on how you look at it, for a year. If you're committed to make it in this industry, you will be willing to do that. That was the advice I got, and the other advice I got, and I'm going to give it to you today. Make sure you have at least a year's worth of cash reserves to carry yourself while you're getting into real estate, because it might be a while before you get any commissions. Now, with this bubble, people are pouring in and just getting lucky. it was a 10-year-old could sell a house in the bubble era. But now those times have come and gone. Seasoned agents are falling like flies. So I get notifications every month, welcome the new agents into the brokerage, and it'd be just piles of them, piles and piles and piles. Now, these emails every month, they still come, welcome the new agents coming into the brokerage, and it's like one or two. It's dying off. You see, most people see the writing on the wall. It's not a good time to become an agent, but a lot of them are drinking the Kool-Aid all the time, and they think somehow they're special. You're not special. You're going to find out, I don't care how good looking you are, I don't care how many friends you have on Facebook, I don't care how long you've been in sales, I was all of that, and I still struggled when I came in. It was hard. It looked glamorous on the outside, but when I got inside, even the dude I worked for lived in a mansion, owned brokerage on the Rodeo Drive of town, $1 billion in sales. Animal. Never had a day off, basically. I mean, the dude's working around the clock. My gosh, I don't know. Like, I want to be a successful agent, but I don't know if I want to have to go through this kind of madness. But I was committed. I was determined to make it no matter what. I don't care how big or small. You want help leasing your rental? I'll do it. You need help selling your mansion? I'll do it. It's a mobile home? I'll do it. It's a piece of dirt, I don't care. Is it real estate work? I'll do it. Now these guys are, oh, well, are they all cash buyers? Are they pre-approved? Otherwise, I just don't have. Now they're begging. Talk to agents all over the nation for you guys. Begging. Yes, I'll take your referral. Thank you. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat them. They've been watching economic awareness videos. Insane. So what we're seeing now is, in fact, this. Don't chase lagging data. I'm giving it to you in real time right now. I'm a walking, talking temperature check. Call volume dying off. New agents dying off. People dropping out of the industry, even seasoned agents. All the commercials that are now being played, probably even on this video and videos that you're watching, and even on mainstream media, are all economic pain commercials, trying to sell you a service. Call 1-800 inflation fight today. It's all unfolding right in front of our face. So now it becomes the three levels. We've talked about this, friends. Wait, I hope you're awake. I know you're awake.